This is Covering the Spread, part of the FanDuel Podcast Network.
We have got some really important and fun games on tap in week number 6 in the NFL, including a banger on Sunday Night Football between the Chiefs and the Lions. Our job today is go game by game and through the entirety the week 6 NFL slate, break down my thoughts on the spread and the totals, and lay out some bets I like early in the week at FanDuel Sportsbook. Welcome on into Covering the Spread, a FanDuel Research podcast. My name is JimSannes. I am a managing editor for FanDuel Research, here to break down my thoughts on NFL week number 6, letting you know where I'm seeing value in the betting markets on Tuesday as we get set for week 6. We'll dive into all that here in just 1 second, but first, a reminder to make sure you're subscribed to Covering the Spread wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., etc. If you like what you hear, give us a 5-star rating and review. And of course, check us out on the FanDuel Football Betting YouTube page. We are here Monday through Friday, 2 shows Thursday with the DFS show in the mix there as well. All right here on the FanDuel Football Betting YouTube page. Leave us a thumbs up there, subscribe, and turn on notifications to get these shows as they go live Monday through Friday. FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can bet parlays, player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. NFL season is finally here. Only question is, are you ready to play? Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-79-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Let's dig in now to the week 6 spreads and totals at FanDuel Sportsbook and try to find some value for this week. That begins on Thursday Night Football with the Eagles taking on the Giants. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, Eagles favored by 7.5. Total in this game is at 41.5. As things stand right now, I've got Landon Dickerson labeled as out for the Eagles. Saquon Barkley is in. Barkley did not practice or label as a DNP on Monday, so he did not go there. And Dickerson, I think, will not go on Thursday. Barkley, I do think, will play. As for the Giants, expecting no Darius Slayton here, which means they are down to Jalen Hyatt on the outside alongside Wan'Dale Robinson, which ain't great given they wanted to give Jalen Hyatt as few snaps as possible at the beginning of this year. So it's a pretty grim setup for the Giants. I do still have this total at 45.1. Not sure I feel about that. We do get wins on key numbers of 43 and 44 at the over 41.5 here. Eagles offense, I think, should be able to move the ball pretty effectively here, even with no Dickerson. So I feel good about the over. I don't feel great about the over. And a lot of my feeling good about it stems from the fact that we've seen a lot of high-scoring games so far this year, and I'm still a little bit above market as far as totals go, not as far as I was previously. Like early in the year, it was like 1.5 above market. We're down to like 0.6 points above average, or 0.5 on average above market. So we're getting closer. Do show value in the over here, so I'm willing to take that. Over 41.5 right now, FanDuel Sportsbook is sitting at -110. I'm okay with that. We'll take the over on Thursday Night Football. I am in line with market on the spread, had the Eagles by 7.8, so no read for me there, but we'll take the over 41.5. Over in London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, once again, we got the Broncos taking on the Jets. That spread is down to 7. Believe it was 7.5. Oh, it was a flat 7 before too. Total in this game is at 43.5. I am very in line with market here, which is a relief to me because I bet the Jets money line last week, got a lot of good closing line value with all the Cowboys offensive line injuries, which is part of the reason I bet them. And then they stunk. So betting on bad teams can lead to bad results. But hey, that's the name of the game here. And luckily, I show no value for this week. Have the Broncos by 6.3 points in London. Total for me, 44.4. Market has it at 43.5. So I can breathe a sigh of relief. I don't have to worry about this very stupid Jets team for at least one single week. I will watch this London game in peace and quiet, not worry about the stupid Jets ruining my day. And I am very, very excited about that being the case this week. So no read from me on the Broncos and Jets over in London. Got the Browns taking on the Steelers right now at FanDuel Sportsbook. The Steelers favored by 5.5, and the total in this game is at 38.5. No read from me on the spread. I've got the Steelers by 5.6 in this game. I do, though, like the over for this one as well. I have this total at 41.3. Market has it at 38.5. Now, it's not a huge gap by any means, but proportionally, when you have a lower total, you don't need as big of a difference between where you have it and where the market has it to show a good amount of value. Dillon Gabriel looked okay. I did not give the Browns offense a boost for how Gabriel looked. I thought that, though, going over to London, facing a Brian Flores defense in your first start when you have a massive travel disadvantage, thought it looked okay. And this Browns defense also typically not as good on the road as it is at home. Steelers offense honestly has been fine so far. They've been relatively efficient. Now, no Calvin Austin for this game for the Steelers. It's a downgrade for them because their depth behind DK Metcalf is pretty brutal. But also potentially no Jalen Ramsey here. So we have some push and pull on the total here with no Jalen Ramsey potentially, no Calvin Austin. I think that winds up being largely a wash relative to the total. So I feel pretty okay having this one at 41.5 or 41.3 personally. I think, again, get to buy into Gabriel, who looked okay in that first start. Get to buy into the Steelers' offense that's been better than expected. Get to fade the Browns' defense when they're on the road because they're not quite as good there as they are at home. That all adds up to me to say over 38.5, sitting at currently minus 108. Totally fine bet in my eyes for the Steelers and the Browns. Again, no word from me on the spread in this game. Had the Steelers by 5.6, given they have a massive rest advantage coming off the bye, while the Browns traveled to London and traveled back before this game here. Next game up is the Chargers and the Dolphins. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, the Chargers favored by 4.5, and the total in this game is 43.5. It does not feel very good, but I do show value in the Dolphins here. Plus 4.5. That is currently sitting at minus 105. And the reason it doesn't feel good is because I am not a fan of this Dolphins team. I think they stink, especially with Tyreek Hill, and they showed that in losing to Carolina this past week. It's reassuring to me, though, that I showed value in Carolina in that game, bet Carolina. So it means that in my eyes, my numbers are not overvaluing the Dolphins anymore as they were earlier on this year. As for the Chargers, still a downgrade here for the offensive line situation. And also, I do think the running back situation does matter with Noah Amari and Hampton, because you eventually reach a cliff where eventually when your running backs are so bad, it actually does have a decently negative effect on the offense. And I think we reached that point with the Chargers, with Najee Harris and Amari and Hampton both being out. So we're catching 4.5 with the Dolphins. They are at home, still relatively warm in Miami this time of year, given it's been warm across the entire country for the first part of this season. So that matters. Traveling across the country matters too. I think there is enough to feel okay about the Dolphins catching 4.5 at home. Do I love betting on Miami? No. Do I accept it more when they are 4.5-point home dogs against a decently flawed team? I do. So I'll take the 4.5 with Miami, sitting at plus or minus 105 at FanDuel Sportsbook. That's enough working in their favor for me to bet them as they take on the Chargers in Miami for this one. As far as the total in this game, I've got it at 42. Market is at 43.5. So it'll lean towards the under, but given the 43.5 is at minus 120 right now, there's a decent chance we get a 44.5, and that would get us a win on a key number of 44 along with 43. So I want to hold out there. If I want to bet the under, I'd hold off. I was on the under last week for Dolphins and Panthers, did not go well. So a little bit of scar tissue there too. So we'll hold out despite showing some value in the under at 43.5. Got the Patriots going on the road, taking on the New Orleans Saints. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, the Patriots favored by 3.5, and the total in this game is 45.5. Got the total about fair, 44.6 from me. I do, though, show value in the New Orleans Saints. So we're just betting on some stinky teams for this week. And the Saints are at least a frisky, stinky team. Offense looked pretty good in that game against the Giants. And the Giants defense, at least up front, the front four, is solid. Beyond that, maybe not as solid, but Spencer Rattler has been competent. He has been in control so far this year. And I didn't really, frankly, expect that out of Spencer Rattler, either coming out of college or entering this year based on what we saw from him last year. So I've seen some competency there. The Patriots obviously have been very, very good so far. But now no Antonio Gibson doesn't matter a ton, but is a factor to consider given that Ramondre Stevenson fumbles a lot. And they haven't trusted Trevion Henderson to be their lead back yet, despite the fact they've had all these issues at running back. I think that's at least interesting to me that they have not been super, super curious about that. So looking at this situation, I'm okay with the Saints, honestly. I think they've been fine enough. We are getting to fade the Patriots off a big primetime game on national TV where they played very, very well against Buffalo. I think that's totally acceptable. The 3.5 on the Saints right now is at -105, so a pretty light price there. Maybe that does imply it gets to 4, but I'm okay with this personally. I think the Saints are worth buying into, given the setup, given that the Patriots, again, coming off that huge win on Sunday night, 3.5 gets us across a key number of 3. That's enough for me. So I will take the Saints plus 3.5, -105 at FanDuel Sportsbook. Next game up is the Seahawks at the Jaguars. Right now at FanDuel Sportsbook, Jags are slight favorites. That's a flip from where it was on the look ahead before last night's game. And their money line is -118. The Seahawks money line is +108. And the total in this game is at 46.5. I've got the Seahawks favored in this game. Even after that win last night for the Jaguars, I still didn't see down-to-down consistency from the Jaguars offense. It still seemed pretty uneven. Whereas with the Seahawks, like, I know they lost to the Buccaneers, but they were chucking flamethrowers. Like, Baker Mayfield had like 3 incompletions in that game, and yet Sam Darnold actually had a higher NEP per dropback, net expected points per dropback being Number Fire's EPA metric. So Sam Darnold played out his mind. I have been low on Seattle this entire year, took the Bucs last week at 3.5, regretted it, but still took it. So I've been low on Seattle most of this year. Now I'm showing value on them here against the Jags. That says to me that I can actually feel okay about this. It's not a situation where my model has been eternally too high on Seattle and showing value here again. I do think we can feel good about them. This defense, hopefully getting some members of the secondary back. Jags likely no Brenton Strange for this game. I think that's enough to buy into Seattle and take the money line at even money. So we'll take the Seahawks against the Jags, again, fading another national TV primetime win. I do think the Seahawks are the right side here. Even money for them on the money line. We'll take that as a take on the Jags on Sunday. As far as the total goes, I do show some value in the under. I have it 43.7. Market has it at 46.5. I'm okay with the under. I did take it myself. Not as firm of a recommendation as with the money line. Don't really want to have 2 bets in the same game here. So I prefer the money line. Don't hate the under though. If you want to avoid betting against the Jags, I think the under is a fair way to do so too, and buy into a Seahawks defense that outside of that Tampa Bay game has looked pretty good so far this year. Next game up is the Cardinals taking on the Colts right now at FanDuel Sportsbook. Colts are favored by 6.5, and the total in this game, 47.5. Still waiting to get word on Kyler Murray's status. He's been sitting out due to a foot injury, or he's up in the air at least due to a foot injury. He didn't sound super committal to playing after their loss to the Titans on Sunday. That's just kind of Kyler's vibe though. So maybe that's a thing. So Kyler, I have projected is in, and I put the spread at 4.2 when I do that, but I kind of want to wait and see where he settles in until I fire here, especially because I have been low on the Colts this year. Don't really want to be super active. I had the Raiders plus 6.5 last week. That went terribly. So if I can have an excuse to sit this one out and not bet against the Colts again and get my teeth kicked in, I'm okay doing that. So we'll hold off on the Cardinals until we get a better read on Kyler. I have the total of 48.5. Market has it at 47.5. So we'll stay away from that one. Stay away from the spread. Keep tabs on Kyler. And honestly, even if Kyler winds up being okay, like full practice on Wednesday, okay, I might just sit this one out. I'm so sick of the Cardinals. They were my survivor pick this week. That did not go well. Sick of betting against the Colts. So if I have an excuse to not bet it, I might take that and just sit this one out and not have any action between the Colts and the Cardinals. Got the Rams traveling across the country to take on the beat up Ravens. Still expecting no Lamar Jackson this game. And as a result, the Rams favored by 7.5. Totals at 44.5. I have this pretty in line with market. Rams minus 7.7 for me. So pretty spot on there. Total of 45.2. Does sound like the Ravens will get some of their secondary pieces back. I'd expect Kyle Hamilton at least to play. Some of the other guys may be back out there too, which they will need for this game. No clear read on if it'll be Snoop Huntley or Cooper Rush for this game. I think it will be Rush, but John Harbaugh did not close the door on it being Snoop Huntley, so we'll hold off. Showing no value here, so happy to sit this one out as well. Get some Rams and DFS and stuff like that, and get my exposure that way. Got the Cowboys going on the road, taking on the Carolina Panthers. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, the Cowboys favored by 3.5, and the total in this game, 49.5. I'm not really sure what CeeDee Lamb's status will be for this game. Haven't made any huge adjustments to the Cowboys yet. I'd expect them to get some of their offensive linemen back for this game. Had the Cowboys by 2 in this one, so a bit of value on the Panthers money line at plus 158, but this Cowboys offense has been so fun to watch. And they went into that Jets game. The Jets defense is not amazing. Neither is Carolina's. And in that Jets game, they were missing 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen, missing an all-pro wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, missing Kevontae Turpin, who was a very useful piece in that offense. And Dak Prescott still kicked butt. So happy to sit this one out. I do show value in the under 2. I have a 46.2. Under 49.5 is minus 112. Again, Cowboys offense looks really good. I don't really want to bet against them at this point, and their defense still stinks. So if you were to force me to bet this game, it would take the under 49.5 and minus 112. But honestly, that's another way to be low on this Cowboys offense, which I don't want to do right now. I think the numbers for me, maybe a bit too low on them. So we'll sit this one out and we'll allow the numbers a couple weeks to catch up on this Cowboys team, which I think is very, very good. So no read from me on Cowboys versus Panthers. Got the Titans going on the road, take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, Raiders favored by 5.5 in this game. Total is 41.5. I do have a downgrade for the Raiders in for Brock Bowers. So I have this spread at 4.7. Not going to bet the Titans, though. We need a bigger margin to do so. I know that things went well for them against Arizona, but Brian Callahan is not my favorite coach. Didn't go for 2 when he should have, and then missed the extra point. He deserved to lose that game. He did not. He was not punished for his sins. Whatever. So we'll avoid that one. I had the total sitting at 40.7. Still projecting JC Latham is in for the Titans. He has now missed 4 games, which means he could have gone on IR, and they didn't do so. Another fun decision by the Titans. So no read from me on this game. Raiders by 4.7, total at 40.7. We'll see if these markets move. Maybe we get some action later on, but no itchiness from me on that one right now. Got the Niners traveling across country to take on the Buccaneers. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, this spread is the Bucs -3, total at 47.5. This is a game where I am most in line with market for this week, as I am projecting Mac Jones as a starter for the Niners. And when I do so, got the Bucs by 3, total at 47.6. So we're all good there. Stay away from this one. I am excited for this game. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch in all of football right now, honestly. He's not the best quarterback, but he is very, very fun. They are missing a bunch of dudes in Seattle last week, and Baker drops the hammer in that game. We're on the window where Mike Evans may be able to come back, so not expecting him to do so, but they'll eventually get Evans back. They'll eventually get Luke Gedeke back, their right tackle as well. This Buccaneers team has some juice. Saw some buzz about Baker Mayfield MVP tickets. I don't hate it. I think it's kind of fun with the way he's playing. All these fourth quarter comebacks. Eventually, there will be regression. You can't come back in the fourth quarter every week, but they've been a really fun team. Love the Niners too. So I'm excited for this game to watch it. No action for me as things stand right now. Got the Bengals taking on the Green Bay Packers. This one is in Lambeau. Packers coming off their bye. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, the Packers, a very juicy 14.5 point favorite. And the total in this game is at 43.5. I'm going to take the over in this game between the Packers and the Bengals. I have it at 48.4. And that's because of a dynamic where we have this large spread where it leads to turnovers in a negative script, and it leads to the opposing team having short fields at times. So although it feels high to have a total of 48.4, given the Packers defense, given this Bengals offense, it's due to that dynamic where you get short fields for the offense, which can generate quick scoring drives, leads to kickoffs. Kickoffs this year have led to, relative to 2023, better field position than what we had previously due to the kickoff rules. So scores can beget scores. You put a team in a big negative script or right away, that can lead to points. We saw with the Bengals and the Lions this past week where that game went way over the total. I think you could see a similar dynamic here. And that's someone to take the over 43.5. It's minus 115. But you're getting a win on 44, which is big for me. So very okay with that. Taking over 43.5, minus 115. Packers versus Bengals. We'll see if there's a quarterback change to the Bengals this week because it ain't working out with Jake Browning. That is to be sure. And we'll see if we can get some short fields for this Packers offense here. As far as the spread goes, I have got this one at 16.2. So not going to lay the 14.5 there. I'll just take the over 43.5 and minus 115. Super fun game on Sunday Night Football. Got the Lions going on the road to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, the Chiefs are slight favorites, minus 138 in their money line. The Lions are plus 118. Total in this game is 52.5. I'm actually showing value on the Lions in this game. I've got their money. I've got them favored to win this game by 0.9 points. And that's despite the fact I think the Chiefs have looked really good the past 2 weeks. Didn't look as good before Xavier Worthy got back, but now Worthy, that ankle didn't look great in that game on Monday night. I would not be shocked to see him miss this game. We've seen how important he is to this offense, given that the offense really surged once Worthy was back in the mix. I can't go back to a life of Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, Hollywood Brown. I know Hollywood had a nice play on Monday night, but a little bit worried about the Xavier Worthy ankle injury. I'm projecting him as in right now, but that more so just gives me faith in this Lions offense. They have gone on the road and they have passed the tests they have gotten so far. They beat Lamar when Lamar was still healthy. They took care of business against the Bengals. They've played really well so far this year outside of that Green Bay game in week number 1. So to me, the Lions have passed almost every test they've had outside of that week 1 game. This Chiefs defense is not as good as what I was expecting entering this year. Lions are super beat up in the secondary. Have some downgrades in there for Terry and Arnold. Also, some other guys out there. So they're pretty banged up. But if we get Xavier Worthy at full health, that could be a little bit scary for this one for sure. But I think the Lions should be very slight favorites in this one, given that the Ravens were almost 3-point favorites against the Chiefs just 2 weeks ago. I think there is enough pointing to Detroit in this game. So I will take their money line at plus 118 in Kansas City on Sunday Night Football, which should be a really fun game. Total I have at 50.5. Again, 52.5 is the total of FanDuel Sportsbook. I think it's a little bit high, but it's shaded towards the under at minus 115. Do get a win on the key number 51, but no firm read on me for that one yet, but do like the Lions money line at plus 118. Got the Bills going on the road, take on the Falcons coming off their bye on Monday night, the first Monday night game. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, Bills by 3.5 is the spread. Totals at 48.5. Bit of a lean towards the over for me here. I did take it at 48.5. It's at minus, or I took it at 48. It's up to 48.5 at minus 115. That's not enough value for me to be super enthusiastic. I have 51.2. Falcons defense has been pretty good once you adjust for the schedule they faced this year. I know part of that's because they had that JJ McCarthy game, but like they've been okay overall. So they've been pretty solid, which is why the Bills favored by just 4.2 in this game. Still love the Bills. No Matt Milano, it sounds like, for this game once again, since like he aggravated injury on Sunday night. So I am okay with sitting up the spread, slightly towards the over. Did take it myself, but that was, again, a better number. 48.5 minus 115, very different than 48 flat. So we'll see on that one. Stay away from me at the current markets for the Bills and the Falcons on Monday night. We get Caleb Williams taking on Jaden Daniels on Monday Night Football. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook, the Commanders are up by 4.5. Total in this game is 49.5. I am very in line with market here again. Got the Commanders by 4.8. Total 49.6. Bears coming off a bye, which does give them a boost of 0.6 points for me. That's not enough to make them a value here in this game, though. So it'll be a fun game. This Bears defense is not good. Commanders defense, I think, is sneakily pretty bad too. And Williams has been impressive, I think, at times. Jaden Daniels was really good against the Commanders. So this should be a very fun game. Excited to watch it on Monday, but no action for me as things stand right now. So to recap, the bets that I like for week number 6, like the Lions money line, plus 118 as they take on the Chiefs. Taking the over, 43.5. That's minus 118 for the Bengals and the Packers. We will ride with the Seahawks money line, even money, taking on the Jaguars on Sunday. Got the Saints plus 3.5, minus 105 to take on the Patriots. Riding with the Dolphins plus 4.5 against the Chargers. Taking over 38.5 for the Browns and Steelers, and over 41.5 for the Eagles at the Giants on Thursday Night Football. Let's get some points out of Jackson Dart and Jalen Hurts in that one. That is all that we have here for today on Covering the Spread. Back with you once again tomorrow, where we're going to bring in Dr. Ed Feng to break down his thoughts on college football week number 7. Always a fun time having Ed on the show. On Thursday, going to break down NFL week number 6. Friday, NFL player props, all right here on the FanDuel Football Betting YouTube page and on the Covering the Spread podcast feed. Go subscribe both those places. Leave us a thumbs up or a 5-star rating. We appreciate everyone tuning in as always. If you got any questions for me, I am on X and Blue Sky at JimSannes. I am on Threads at Jim.Sannes. And you can find FanDuel Research on X at FanDuel Research. Big thank you to our YouTube producer, Justin Lane, for his work in the video side of things. Thank you, Justin, as always. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. Good luck to you with your bets across week 6. We'll talk to you once again tomorrow to break down college football week 7. This has been Covering the Spread, a FanDuel Research podcast.